Welcome to Maths Companion. I am Ramesh. Have you all studied the first chapter? Shall we start the second chapter now? Out of all geometrical shapes and figures, the circles is a fascinating form present around us. Be it the sun, moon, and even a bottle cap, circular objects are quite common. Today, let us start the second chapter, Circles. Draw a right triangle of hypotenuse 5 cm. The perpendicular sides can be of any length. How can we draw it? There are different methods. One method is like this. Draw a line of length 5 cm at first. Draw any angle at one end and 90 minus this angle at the other end to get the triangle. That is, if we take this angle as 20 degree, what is 90 minus 20? 70. So we can take 70 degree here. So this is 20, this is 70, then automatically this angle is 90 degree. Or you can take 30 degree here, then you should take 60 degree here. Or you can take 40 degree here, then you can take 50 degree here. Like this you can draw a lot of right angle triangles with hypotenuse 5 cm. Another method is using a set square. Would you like to see how it is? First of all, draw a line of length 5 cm. Now put the set square on this line in such a way that one end is on this side of the set square and the other end is on the other side of the set square. Now we know this angle is 90 degree. So it is enough to draw lines like this. Just draw lines like this. Now we can see a right angle triangle here. Now you can place the set square in a different position and again you can draw lines like this to get a different right angle triangle with hypotenuse 5 cm. Just like this you can draw a lot of right angle triangles with hypotenuse 5 cm using set square. Only thing is that one end of the line should be on one side of the set square and the other end should be on the other end of the set square. Let us draw many triangles like this and observe the third vertices. Here you can see a right triangle with hypotenuse 5 cm. Now we are going to draw so many right triangles with same hypotenuse and let us observe the third vertices. Look at the third vertices. Are they all on a circle? Why? Let us check. Now let us go to the first part of the lesson, right angle and circle. Let me draw a circle at first and draw a diameter of the circle. Now join the ends of the diameter to a point on the circle like this. What type of an angle is angle P? In 8th standard, you have studied that angle P is a right angle. Let us prove it. O is the center of the circle. Let me join O to P. Then the triangle is divided into two smaller triangles. What type of triangles are they? OA and OP are radii of the circle. So they are equal. Therefore, this triangle OAP is an isosceles triangle. In the same way, the triangle OBP is also an isosceles triangle. Now suppose this angle is x degree. Then what is this angle? That is also x degree. Because we know this is an isosceles triangle and the angles opposite to equal sides are equal. Suppose angle B is y degree, then what is this angle? That is also y degree. because they are angles opposite to equal sides. Now let us look at our large triangle ABP. We know sum of the three angles of any triangle is 180 degree. Therefore, angle A plus angle B plus angle P equal to 180 degree. What is angle A? That is x degree. What is angle B? That is y degree. What is angle P? That is x plus y degree. Replacing the values, we get x plus y equal to 180 degree. X plus y means 2 times x plus y. So we can simplify this as 2 into x plus y equal to 180 degree. When 2 times x plus y is 180 degree, what is the value of x plus y? 180 by 2 or 90 degree. That is x plus y, or this angle is 90 degree, or we can say angle P equal to 90 degree. That means when we join the ends of a diameter to a point on the circle, we get a right angle. This is a semicircle and angle P is an angle in the semicircle. So we can say angle in a semicircle is right angle. So we have seen that if we join the ends of a diameter of a circle to a point on the circle, we get a right angle, and angle in a semicircle is right. If the ends of a diameter are joined to a point on the circle, we get a right angle. Suppose the ends of a diameter are not joined to a point on the circle. What are the other possibilities? They can join to a point inside the circle, or they can join to a point outside the circle. Let us check the two situations. Let us draw a circle and a diameter of this circle. Now let us join the ends of this diameter to a point inside the circle like this. What can you say about this angle P? Let us check. Let me extend this side to meet the circle. Now join Q to B. What can you say about angle Q? We know it is a right angle because it is an angle in the semicircle. Now let us consider a triangle and extend any one side like this. Then a new angle is formed. It is called outer angle. And all these three angles are inner angles or interior angles. These two angles are away from this angle. They are called interior remote angles. And in 8th standard, we have studied that outer angle is equal to sum of the interior remote angles, or this angle is equal to sum of these two angles. Can you see a similar situation here? Look at this triangle and these angles. When you consider this triangle, this is an outer angle and these are the interior remote angles. So this angle equal to sum of these two angles, and we know this is 90 degree. Sum of these two means definitely it is more than 90. So this angle is more than 90, or it is an obtuse angle. We don't know what exactly the measurement is. As the position changes, the angle may vary. As you can see now, the angle is different when the position changes. But we can say one thing, that it is always more than 90. That means when the ends of a diameter are joined to a point inside the circle, the angle is always more than 90 degree, or we get an obtuse angle. Now let us take the second situation. Let us draw a circle and a diameter. Now join the ends to a point outside the circle like this. Now, what can you say about this angle? Let us check. Let us join this point Q to B. Q is a point on the circle. Now, what about angle Q? It is 90 degree as Q is angle in the semicircle. Now, as in the previous case, we can see an outer angle and sum of interior remote angles. Consider this triangle. Then this angle is an outer angle. What are the interior remote angles? Angle P and angle at B. That means this angle is equal to sum of these two angles, or 90 degree equal to sum of these two angles. So when you take this angle, that is always less than 90, because if this angle is added to this angle, then only that becomes 90 degree. So if you take this angle alone, that is always less than 90 degree. Again, we cannot say the exact measurement. It depends the position of P. As the position changes, the angle may vary, but we can say one thing, that the angle is always less than 90 degree. Or when the ends of a diameter are joined to a point outside the circle, we get an acute angle. Now let us draw a circle and a diameter of this circle. Suppose the ends are joined to a point and we got a right angle. Can the point be inside the circle? No, because we know when the point is inside the circle, it is more than 90 degree. Now, can it be outside the circle? No. We know when the point is outside the circle, the angle is less than 90 degree. That means the point cannot be inside the circle and it cannot be outside the circle. So it must be on the circle. That means these two are perpendicular lines drawn from the ends of this diameter, and they meet on this circle. Or if a pair of lines drawn from the ends of a diameter are perpendicular to each other, then they meet on the circle. Now suppose we draw another pair of perpendicular lines from these two ends, then they also meet on this circle. So let us generalize and we can say all pairs of mutually perpendicular lines drawn from the ends of a fixed line meet on the circle with that line as diameter. So we can draw lines from the ends of this diameter, and if they are perpendicular to each other, they meet on this circle. Now let us look at our first figure, the right triangle with hypotenuse 5 cm. We know this angle is 90 degree, so these two are perpendicular to each other, and these lines are drawn from the ends of this line. So they meet on a circle, or on a circle with this line as diameter. Now if you take a different triangle, again these two are mutually perpendicular and they are drawn from the ends of this line, so they also meet on the same circle. That is why the third vertices of these triangles form a circle, because for all these triangles the sides are mutually perpendicular and they are drawn from the ends of this line, so they all are points on the circle with this line as diameter. In the meantime, we have seen 2 points. If a pair of lines drawn from the ends of a diameter of a circle are perpendicular to each other, then they meet on the circle. All pairs of mutually perpendicular lines from the ends of a fixed line meet on the circle with that line as diameter. We have seen that all pairs of mutually perpendicular lines from the ends of a fixed line meet on the circle with that line as diameter. Now let us think of the reverse. If we draw mutually perpendicular lines from a point on a circle and join the points where they cut the circle, do we get a diameter? Let us check. Let us draw a circle at first. Now take a point on this circle and draw a line from that point. Now draw a line perpendicular to this line and through this point on the circle, like this. Now mark the points where these lines intersect the circle and join them. Is it the diameter? That is what we have to determine. See, this is a right angle triangle and this is its circumcircle. And we know the circumcenter of a right angle triangle is the midpoint of its hypotenuse. So the center of this circle is the midpoint of this line. Means this is the diameter of the circle. That means if we draw mutually perpendicular lines from a point on a circle and join the points where they cut the circle, we get a diameter. Or the reverse of what we have seen earlier is also true. Now let us see an application of this idea. Suppose we are given a circle and we don't know where the center is. Using this idea, we can locate the center. Suppose we have to find the center of this circle. Let us select any point on this circle and draw mutually perpendicular lines from that point. And observe the points where they intersect with the circle. Join them, we will get a diameter. For this purpose, we can use set square. Place the set square like this. This is 90 degree. So these two lines are mutually perpendicular lines. Observe where they meet the circle. Mark the points of intersection. Join them, we get a diameter. In the same way, let us place the set square in another position and do like this once again. These two are mutually perpendicular lines. Mark the point where they intersect with the circle. Join them, we will get another diameter. The intersecting point of these two diameters is the center. Like this, we can find the center of a circle when the center is not given. Now let us recall what we have learned today. Angle in a semicircle is right. If we join the ends of a diameter of a circle to a point on the circle, we get a right angle. If we join the ends of a diameter of a circle to a point inside the circle, we get an obtuse angle. If we join the ends of a diameter of a circle to a point outside the circle, we get an acute angle. All pairs of mutually perpendicular lines from the ends of a fixed line meet on the circle with that line as diameter. Now there are two homeworks. In the figure, triangle ABC is a right triangle. If a circle is drawn with AC as diameter, find the position of B. If a circle is drawn with BC as diameter, find the position of A. Second question. A circle is drawn with AB as diameter. Find the position of the points C, D, E related to the circle. Using the ideas which we have learned today, you can easily do these problems. Start learning. Learn with the help of figures. Understand the ideas well. So you can do any problems from this chapter. You can expect more questions from this chapter for your examination. So study well, practice well. I'll be back with the remaining part. Till then, bye.